So if you're thinking about replacing your trailer floor, maybe your trailer floor is rotted out and it's not even there anymore. Maybe you've already removed your flooring or you're about to remove your flooring. It would be a good time to check any frame cracks, check all the substructure in it. You can even look at the suspension and your axles when you get the floor out. But it's a great time to check your wiring, especially just because it's easy to get to. On this trailer here, once we pulled it out, it needed not a full rewire, but it needed some wiring replaced, needed some new connectors. It had some Scotch locks and just some ratty wiring on it. So we cleaned that up for the customer. In this case, this customer already had his floor out when he brought it in, so that made it a little easier on us. That's a good time to do that, and you can check the video out on this. We've already prepped this trailer for the floor. The wiring is good, so now we're going to get to installing the floor. So the tools we're going to need for this is a drill. I normally use an air drill, but due to sound, we're going to use a cordless today. 7/32 drill bit. Spend a little extra money and get you a good drill bit. This is a coated screw. It is self-threading, not self-tapping. I'm not a fan of self-tapping screws, so we pre-drill all of our holes, use a self-threading screw. If you use the old black screw, most of those are not approved for treated lumber floor and can cause the floor to premature, that's a tough word, I can't even say it.
Prematurely.
They can rot quicker than normal. Gonna use impact, you can use air. I'm gonna use a 3/8 cordless with a T30 bit that fits these heads. They do make a couple different sizes of these as far as the diameter and the head size. The larger ones are usually only used if they're doing like a semi-trailer. So this is what we use for this. We also use a lubricant for our drill bits. We use slick stick, some good stuff. You can use some oils or whatever just to extend the life of the drill bit, not to overheat it. This trailer won't have a lot of flooring screws in it. We're only gonna have 2 rows in this one like they have in the factory. If we're doing a big deck over, we'll have, you know, sometimes 200 to 400 screws depending on how the floor is laid out. Another thing that is good to do is go ahead and mark the center of your studs. If you look across there, maybe we can zoom in on that. We have marked the center of the stud where our floor screws will go back with a grease pencil that we can wipe off when we get done. You'll see when we use a string line to mark our screw line so it's straight. So if you're gonna do the job, make sure it looks good. Luckily on this is a 16-foot trailer. Our boards come 16 foot 1 inch. This trailer was built to accommodate that, so we don't have to cut any lumber. But if you have to cut lumber, you're gonna need a skill saw, miter saw, something like that. But we're gonna get lucky today. We're just gonna throw this one in there. Leave us a comment. If you have a question, we've had some good questions in the last couple of weeks that we've had an opportunity to respond to. We like questions and comments because that means you're listening and hopefully you're learning something, so keep those comments coming. We're gonna go and get this flooring installed. Something I wanna show you right here at the back, so we can zoom in. You can see the grain is arched down. That's the way you really wanna put it in. That will keep the floor from cupping. But I will tell you, the quality of lumber we get today is not what it was just a few years ago. Sometimes you have to just chance it, flip it over because this side of it will be so bad. This is about the best lumber we can get on the market today. And I will tell you, if you are reflooring a trailer, just like we tell our customers, there's no warranty on treated lumber right now. They don't warranty it against cracking, cupping, splintering, shrinkage, anything, any type of deflection. It just, once you buy it, it's your floor. What you can do though is once this floor dries out, this lumber is pretty wet still. Give it about 90 days and you can put some Thompson water seal or some type of wood treatment. You need to do that. It will double the life of this floor likely if you leave it out in the elements. So something I like to do before we start installing any screws or pre-drilling any holes is I like to get the wood as tight as possible because it is going to shrink. So you can use wedges. There's lots of things you can do. On this style trailer, I'm going to wedge it in from each side, try to make the gap here even on each side. It's going to have gaps when we're done, but we want to have the minimum amount of gappage as possible. After we've pulled the boards in, it's a little more gap than I like, so we're actually gonna push the boards out. I've got a 2x8 instead of a 2x6, so we're gonna rip that down to fit just so it's a little bit tighter. Now we got a good tight floor. We're gonna go ahead and chalk line where our screw line is gonna go. That almost had enough chalk in it to see what we're doing. Well, now all the easy part is over. It's time to drill a bunch of holes and put in a bunch of screws. We're going to replace the old lip with some 1/4 inch flat bar. What it had there before, it's 1/8 inch, pretty flimsy, and he had a couple of tie down rings on it too. So we're just going to go ahead and upgrade that for him and weld it in. All right, now that once that cools off, we'll spray some paint on it. We have the front lip welded in, had time to cool off. We've got paint on it, put his D-rings back in his original location. Now we just gotta do a little cleanup, and this dude is ready to go down the road.